Brother, I'm going, wanna wow Hulk Hogan. If all I get's a moment, I'll make sure it's an explosion. Cause lately I've been seeing stars, trying to kick out on this joke, but it's no holds barred, middle fingers like I'm Stone Cold.
And what is good, ladies and gentlemen? This is another episode of the Slapping Me Wrestling Podcast. I guess I could say surprise to the people on the Discord. I announced on Monday that I was gonna at least take Tuesday off, maybe take the whole week off, right? And I was, I do want to open with an explanation. I'm transparent with that, bro. I just was not feeling good. Was not feeling like even trying to do a podcast Monday, Tuesday, just not at all. And just did not feel like doing it. Just, last year, 2023, I put out like 100 episodes. Where this is like episode 34 of this year. And there's a lot of, burnout there, right? To try to create good content. And so I just needed a few days of rest there. So I do want to say thank you to DJ Wavy D for continuing the content and posting and creating that solo episode. Really good episode, by the way. If you want some insight with him and some of the things that he wanted to talk about there, he had 4 wrote in that I had zero idea what episode for me to put up on, Spot. I wanted to see if we would, cross paths on any of these topics. I think there's only one that are similar, and I want to see if our opinions, are the same or different about that. But yeah, so I came to today, I don't like missing episodes. I'll be honest with you. I don't like not posting stuff for the audience who wants this type of entertainment. I know there's people in the audience in the Discord who look forward every week for Tuesdays and for me and Wavy D, and then for this solo episode. So I put my thinking cap on over the last few days. What do I want to talk about? Because let's be real transparent. Here's the problem with doing a wrestling podcast is, especially in the way that I do my wrestling podcast, right? I'm not gonna sit here and do what Meltzer and all of them do on theirs, or what the rest of the internet marks do, where they sort of just pay so close attention to every little thing that happens and spend time talking. There's not a news cycle in wrestling, right? There's not. Like, if I was doing an NFL podcast, right? If I wanted to do football or, political commentary or whatever, there's a news cycle for that, right? There's not a news cycle in wrestling. Half of what these dirt sheets write about are like former superstar tell story about this, and it's not news, right? So yeah, it's hard to try to put on a story, and like for me, I want to try to remain within what happens on TV. I don't care about the backstage stuff. I really don't, for the most part, right? I don't necessarily care about, what Hulk Hogan said on a podcast. I don't care what, Swerve said on a podcast. None of that really matters unless it really, is something like Tony Khan going on there and just lying, basically, like he does a lot. So I try to keep, I feel like if these podcasters would keep within the storyline being told, a lot more of these podcasts would be a lot more enjoyable. But when we sit here and we start telling secrets, and I know we all love listening to, all the legends. Like, that's why I don't listen to Stone Cold's podcast or Undertaker's podcast. I don't necessarily care enough to do that, right? And so for me, what I want to do here is to let's just keep within the storyline of what's being seen on TV, similar as if I was doing a podcast on Star Wars. I'm not going to sit and talk about everything outside of Star Wars that I'm. Oh, did you hear that on the set today when they were filming? That this popped. No. Let's focus on the storyline being told. That's what I try to do. Right. I feel like if we kept within kayfabe, podcast would be a lot more enjoyable. And as in that way, I can then play up a character, right? I can play up being some sort of character, right? So I've always put it this way: how I feel is how I feel. Sometimes I just turn it up to 11 or 12 and how I explain it, right? But with that, let's jump into the show. We got a lot to cover. Typically these episodes would start with like my review of NXT and of AEW. I'll just go ahead and say this. NXT was good again, like it typically is. My one note though from NXT, I'm not going to cover the whole show, but my one note is just like we already are reaping the benefits of what it means to have a secondary mid-card women's championship, right? It gives Ren Sinclair, which wasn't on TV, but it gives Sol Ruka more than likely is going to win this title just based on everything. I believe she's going to be, but it gives Izzy Dame a reason to be on TV. Gives someone like Brinley Reese a reason to be on TV. She's fighting against Jada Parker next week, right? More than likely in a loss. Jada's not losing this, right? But it gives some of this talent in the mid card of the women's division a reason to fight, and their matches feel important. I'll be completely honest. If you would have given me Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame for zero reason, right, where it was just to have a match, I would have probably fast forwarded past that match, right? Because you already knew Sol Ruka would win, right? But you come into this and there's a reason for it. Sol Ruka should win, but I want to make sure she does. Now, I'm never going to skip a Sol Ruka match. Like, it is not going to happen because Sol Ruka is she's top 5 favorite of WeTooDeep over here in the women's division of all of WWE, right? And so like yeah, I just you already are reaping these benefits of what is happening at that, in that mid card of the women's division. And so that's my number one takeaway from NXT this week. We had the 2 qualifier matches, right? Everything progressing with with storylines, it's fine. But nothing really important to stand out to really focus on. It was standard NXT, nothing, I guess the return of Gallus is important. It was a really good way to end the show, right? AEW, let me tell you something. This is the 3rd week in a row that I watched AEW. And this was the hardest episode to watch of the 3. 2 weeks ago, I came on here and said, y'all made me care about Omega. Y'all made me care about Orange Cassidy, right? First time in 5 years that I had ever cheered for both of those characters at the same time. And in 2 weeks, they're completely off the show. And this is the issue. This is the issue. I understand why Omega is gone, because that is the bigger story. I'm not upset with that. But Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta was a story that I was getting into, and it's not on Dynamite. It's not. So the issue with AEW is that there is so let me explain it this way. When I turn on Monday Night Raw, I'm going to Monday Night Raw on Monday. When I go there, I know exactly what I'm going to get. I know exactly, for the most part, who's going to be on the show. I know I'm getting Jey Uso versus Gunther. I'm getting, Lyra versus Io Sky. And I know I'm probably going to get some Judgment Day. I know, because it's the same casting character at least for a month time to build the story to the PLE. When you come to AEW, right, when you watch AEW, you get 20 new characters every single week. And there's some that are the same. Swerve and Christian were there. That was the only thing I cared about. That was the only thing in that show that I cared about, was what Christian was going to do to Swerve this week, right? Now, I will say the House of Black versus Adam Copeland, pretty interesting. I'm interested in that. But that's it. I fast forwarded through much everything else, right? I don't care about Tony Storm. What, it's going to lead to Tony Storm versus Serena Deeb? I don't give two fucks about that. That's not compelling to me to watch TV, right? I don't care about Willow and Mercedes having the most WWE style contract signing all the way down from the start of the segment with Renee standing in the ring right next to the table, all the way down to two chairs on opposite sides of the table, all the way down to the style of promo and Mercedes going through the table. The most WW, right? We're the alternative, but we're actually the same. Right? It's crazy. It's right. AEW now is what WWE was in 2019, 2020, 2018. Right? It's the same. Right? You're literally repeating WWE. It's the same product. It's the same. I promise you, if you put on AEW, put the WWE logo in the corner and aired it back in 2018, it would have been a pretty similar show. Pretty similar. That's my hot take for the week. We're basically just rehashing 2019 WWE on AEW. A little bit more edgy, but it's pretty much the same. And if you're a fan of it, watch it, enjoy it. But as someone, like I've right, the number one critique of me and others like me who critique AEW and aren't necessarily fans of it is, well, you guys don't watch the product. Well, I've watched the product for 3 straight weeks, and I can understand. Like I came into this saying, well, it's kind of unfair to watch it 1 week and say that it's a hard watch. But when you watch it 3 weeks in a row, and it gets harder each week to want to watch it for numerous reasons, right? The Young Buck thing is great, right? They're easy heels to hate. It's a good story. But like you literally, you start the show. So I recorded it. So the Warner Brothers logo from the previous show was on when the recording started. It went black. It turned and started the live footage at AEW, and you're 30 seconds already into a Jon Moxley intro. Someone's already in the ring. I have no idea what's happening. If this was my first time watching the show, I promise you, I'm lost already. I'm turning the channel. Right? You at least give me a reason why I should watch Eddie, or why Eddie Kingston's gone, because he gets attacked by the Young Bucks, right? And so this sets up, okay, we're going to get the fourth guy. And then you spoiler alert for those who don't watch AEW, but I'm sure most of you don't. You end the show by having that fourth guy be Darby Allin. So you're telling me Eddie Kingston, and I didn't see an injury. So unless it happened in the match that they didn't show, because all they showed was the beatdown, right? And which is another thing. In order for me to enjoy AEW, this is one of the things. I have to sit there. I have to watch Dynamite. I have to watch Collision, which is fine. I'm able to find those things. They're on TV. That's fine. That's not anything to complain about. But now I have to go and try to find how to watch New Japan Resurgence. I have no idea. Like, most casual fans have no idea how to do that. Have no idea where to find New Japan television. Or much rather have the time and desire to sit and watch an entire show of New Japan wrestlers. Now that's a third company I have to watch because the Young Bucks may attack Eddie Kingston. I ain't got time for that. There's no reason for me to do that, right? Because I don't, right? Because of now I got to pay, because I could tell you casual fans how to do it. You got to go to New Japan's website. You got to subscribe to New Japan World. I believe that's how you watch this now, right? And then you got to, that's like $9.99 a month to watch New Japan on the whims that maybe something from AEW shows up. Because I don't care about New Japan. Right? And so I didn't see an actual injury other than he gets beat up by, right? So it has to be a storyline injury, right? That everyone the Young Bucks touch get removed. So now Darby comes back, who in real life I know broke his foot in his last match, and then just 2 weeks ago got hit by a bus, but he can wrestle? There's no logic to this. That's like Darby came out and I was like, oh, didn't he just not get hit by a bus? How is he walking? So either A, he lied about the bus story, or B, they cleared a man who just got hit by a bus. Literally 2 weeks ago. To wrestle in an anarchy, and I guess I should have seen it coming, because this is anarchy in the arena. This match reads Darby Allin. This dude's gonna literally get hit by a bus on TV. It would not surprise me at all if this whole thing was to set up them literally hitting this man with a vehicle on live TV. Would not surprise me at all. This reads like a Darby Allin death wish. Darby Allin heard that they were going to do anarchy in the arena in Las Vegas, and he got on the phone and said, I know I just got hit by a bus, but I want a part of this. What's going like it's hard to support this. It's hard to be that guy that says we have to be fair. We can't be unfair and judge this. But bro, you make it hard. You make it hard, right? And it's not the wrestlers. It's Tony Khan. It's some of the booking. It's the fans, the IWC. We'll get to that later in this episode. But it's hard to watch AEW. It's hard to not fast forward through the 18 matches that have zero meaning. I saw Kyle Fletcher take another pin on Dynamite, which again goes back, why the fuck was he wrestling Swerve 2 weeks ago? Because now he's 0-9 on Dynamite. Like, what the fuck is going on? There's some very good pieces in this show surrounded by a whole lot of shit. And it's a hard watch. I'll be honest with you. Like, I was in this case 2 weeks ago. Like, it's unfair on your first watch to call it unfair. After 3 watches, man, I'm telling you, it's really hard to watch this show. It's really hard to watch this show. And so, like, you can't blame casual fans for saying that. You just can't. Like, I played devil's advocate. I tried to be that guy that was like, well, we got to give it a chance. Guys, people are out here giving it a chance. And I'm out here giving it a chance. And I'm just the little amount that, right? And this literally can be fixed very simply. Set a set roster of who's on Dynamite. Only they are on Dynamite. Set a set roster for who's on Collision. They are only on Collision. You really have to get rid of about 50% of your roster because you're bloated for no reason whatsoever. Have a cast of about 10 to 15 to 20 superstars that are going to be on Dynamite. 10, 15, 20 superstars that are going to be on Collision and only on that show, so that when I watch, I can say, hey, I'm watching Dynamite. I'm going to get Swerve. I'm going to get Christian. I'm going to get Edge, Copeland. I'm going to get the Young Bucks. I'm going to get, right? And if I'm watching Collision, I'm getting Willow. I'm getting Mercedes, right? Make them feel special and give me a reason to want to watch the show. So that's my NXT and AEW review for this week. So let's talk about some of the other news that probably we would have talked about on Tuesday. So let's start with the topic that me and WavyD both had down, and that is Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes. And this match for, I'm assuming now that it's title for title, right? In Saudi Arabia, winner takes all. And like the IWC is like losing their shit. Why is it Logan Paul? Why is it no one else? And I think if I remember correctly, Wavy D believes that there's going to be some sort of interference in this match. I'm not taking that role. I'm not going to take that role. I think we get a decisive finish. I think Cody's going to win. And we're going to do our King and Queen of the Ring predictions next Tuesday. Me and Wavy D will that's going to be a majority of the episode as we head into next weekend, being the pay-per-view PLE. And so I think Cody's going to win, and will be United States champion. I concede maybe a DQ. I'm not going to predict the DQ because I don't necessarily like a DQ finish, right? So here's where it gets messy. If you go into a DQ, what's the point of having the match, right? I'm not upset with the match itself. I actually think it's very brilliant. I would actually love if Logan Paul wins. I'm just not willing to put in words that I think Logan Paul is going to win the match. I'm not willing to make that prediction with what they just put Cody through. And so I think Cody's going to win. My question then comes, why? It's not the match itself. It's, can we get why not get the title off of Logan so that the mid card has a US title? Because now, like, you're going to basically put your two big men's titles on the same dude, Cody Rhodes. And how does that work? Right? Because he's going to have to lose it eventually so that you have a mid card. I think this is really, really questionable booking. I feel you could have taken the title off of Logan at WrestleMania or Backlash, and then had Logan come in and challenge Cody for the world title. I think that would have been better. Just personally, I'm not against the match. This immediately becomes the match to watch on this King and Queen of the Ring card. This immediately becomes one of the matches that I want to watch because Logan Paul is so good. And yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be a good match. It's gonna be a good match, and I'm picking Cody now. Maybe my official prediction changes in the next few weeks, or in the next week before the show next week on Tuesday. But yeah, I don't know why we're so mad that Logan Paul's in this match. Logan Paul's earned more than enough, earned his place on the roster, right? But these nerds are so upset because he didn't go through the indies, and he didn't go through NXT, and that he basically just got there because of, you know, like nepotism or because of his name. Yeah. He built a brand. WWE is paying him for that branding, and they're going to reward him. And then, you know, what happens is he got into it. He started doing it, and he was really good at it. And so why would you not put Logan Paul on TV? Right? Yeah, this is going to be a fun match, though. I don't hate the match. I'm questionable about the booking, because I feel like this really trashes the mid card of SmackDown at the moment, because Cody's going to be busy doing world title stuff. So if he has the US title, right? So Wavy D's idea of a DQ makes a lot more sense and would probably be the best booking. I just don't like DQ finishes on big PLE matches. I just feel like it's a waste of time if it's just going to be a DQ. But I can't wait to actually have that conversation with them on this match next Tuesday. So tune in for that. But let's move on. If you see the episode title, we're talking about the potentiality of Becky Lynch going to AEW. According to, I believe it's Meltzer, so take it with the biggest grain of salt you can. She has like less than 3 weeks on her contract, and she hasn't re-signed yet. And guys, stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it. She's not leaving. She's not leaving at all. It will be in the WWE. She's not leaving. There's nothing that would convince her to leave, in my opinion, right? She has the money. She has the money. Unless Tony Khan comes out here and offers her like the Mercedes Moné $10 million per year type contract, which I don't think he has any reason to do, right? But then if you're Becky Lynch and you're already at the top of the industry, right? You're the women's champion, right? Would you not, like, would you leave that to chase the money that you already have? Leave your husband, have to be on the road away from your child. I just don't see this happening. There's certain wrestlers, even like if you would have asked me 5 years ago, like if Becky Lynch was a free agent in 2018 going into 2019 when AEW was first being created, I could have said, yeah, Becky Lynch she's was really good in NXT. She's starting to make a name for herself. I could see her jumping to AEW, but she's at the top of the industry. She wasn't top of the industry in 2018. So I could see her leaving in 2018, but she's literally the top of the women's division in WWE. She has a place there. And I just don't see her throwing that away to chase money to be booked in the mid card on AEW, to be the afterthought on AEW, because Tony Khan wants to put this toy in the ring versus this toy. And he forgets about you being like, if Becky Lynch went to AEW, she'd be the biggest the biggest AEW wrestler, man or woman, on the roster. She would outshine everybody. She would. There's certain wrestlers now. Kevin Owens fits AEW. He's not leaving WWE ever. He will be a lifer the rest of his life in WWE. What I see with Becky Lynch is pretty simple. She's re-signing, and if she doesn't, she's signing some sort of trainer role. I see Becky Lynch slowly transitioning to being a backstage producer, trainer for the women's division in NXT, on Raw, on SmackDown, in the Performance Center in some way, shape, or form, to help some of these women who are coming in learn the business and learn the WWE style. I see her being in that role, slowly transitioning over the next 4 to 5 years into that type of producer trainer role. That's what I see for Becky Lynch. She's re-signing. She's not leaving WWE. All you marks, out there who are already starting the Rebecca Quinn is AEW post, and you have it made and you have it bookmarked and you have the tweet already in your drafts and you're ready for it. It's not happening. Go ahead and delete it. Becky Lynch is not leaving WWE. She's re-signing. It is what it is. Y'all have to get over it. Becky Lynch is not leaving WWE. She's just not. So that's what will end that conversation, because it's really not a conversation that we need to have, but apparently we're gonna have it, and that's where it really begins at, right there. Next thing I want to talk about is they just put out SummerSlam tickets for sale. Now WWE, my dudes, this was my complaint. This was my complaint. If you go back 6 months, if you go back to the end of 2023, and we started announcing the PLEs for WWE, and we got Berlin, and we got France, and we got Australia, and we're going to Saudi twice, and we're going to Canada, right? And what was my complaint? There were 2 complaints. The first one was the time thing. I don't necessarily think that's as big as I made it up to be completely honest with you. But the second one was what? They're taking all the affordable pay-per-views for the U.S. audience. So a Backlash, a Hell in a Cell, something like that would go to some of these lower tiered viewed cities like Charlotte, where I live, or the Northeast, like a Hartford or a Seattle, some of these lower tier cities that get like the Night of Champion type pay-per-views, the B tier pay-per-view PLEs. They're taking those, they're moving them overseas, and then they're going to keep the A tier, the big four, and really, right, the big four, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Mania, Rumble, and those big four will be local U.S. shows. But they're the more expensive experiences, and so they're pricing out a certain tier of fan base, and that's exactly what happened. And so I got in this queue last Thursday, I think, was when the ticket, or last Friday, I believe, was when the tickets went out for sale. It may have been Monday or two. I don't actually remember, to be honest. But I got in this queue right as I had the pre-sale code already. Got in the queue like 20 minutes before the tickets went on sale. There was like 45 people in front of me, right? So I was pretty early. I get in, the queue opens. I'm viewing the tickets, and literally I was there. Had no plans on buying tickets. Planned on staying for about 5 minutes or less, because here's what happens. Here's what tends to happen is you have people who try to view prices, and they sit there for an hour viewing prices of tickets. And then that to me, that's just taking time. I just wanted to see the prices. And so I did 2 things. I said, okay, where would I like to sit? Well, I would like to sit in like the one, this is a big football stadium. So like the 200s aren't a bad section to sit in. Like 100s, 200s aren't bad sections to sit in. It's away from the field where the ring would be, but it's not a bad seat. And those tickets I already knew they would be well outside my price range, and they were about what I expected them to be. And so I said, well, where could I probably afford? And I said, well, let's take a look at what the highest point you can get in the stadium, that very top row. How much are they going for? Guys, they're going for like $150+ for the ticket, plus all the fees that you got to get from Ticketmaster, which would probably, a lot of times the fees are greater than the actual ticket itself. So, I mean, you're looking at like $300, $400 for a ticket. Let's just say that it's $300 for the ticket. All right, that's just the ticket. Now I gotta get a hotel to go to Cleveland, and I gotta put gas in the car to drive there because I live 8 hours away from Cleveland. I'm not flying, right? And I gotta get a hotel, and I gotta get the gas, and I gotta get food. I mean, you're looking at SummerSlam, me spending $1,000 in a weekend, and I'm sitting at the very top of the arena. This was my complaint. This is the exact reason why I complained. They're pricing out the lower income part of your fan base, which are the people that you shouldn't be stopping from going to these events. They're the right that you're pricing out. You're making these things exclusive to people who can afford them. And when I see TikTokers that are like top tier, like top 1% in terms of like they get the most views, when I see people, and I'm not here to speak on their experience on what they do for a living, and I'm not sitting here saying that they make a whole shit ton of money from content creation. But when you have so, and I love her content. This is not a diss towards her at all. When I see someone like Wheezy, who again I love Wheezy's content. She's one of the few in Wrestle Talk that I still watch. Wrestle Twitter that I still watch. When I see her complaining about SummerSlam prices, and I understand that like she's top tier of content creators, like right, and she's out here and she's talking about the prices, and you have people who make a shit ton of money doing stuff like podcasting and content creation and going to these wrestling shows, and they're talking about ticket pricing. Right. When I see that, I sit here and say, like, Weezy should be getting free tickets to SummerSlam. She really should. Like, WWE should really be giving her free shit because she's so good at what she does. Right. And I understand, like, again, I don't know her financial situation. I'm not here to speak on it. But when I see some of these people that I know that I've seen go to WrestleManias and seen go to these events, and they're sitting here and like it didn't used to cost this much. Guys, from experience, I've been to a WrestleMania. I went to WrestleMania 33. It didn't used to cost this much. That same $1,000 that it would have spent me to go to SummerSlam, plus the hotel, plus the food, that same $1,000 paid for my entire week-long trip to Florida for WrestleMania 33. My portion of tickets to WrestleMania, ticket to Access, ticket to Raw and SmackDown, ticket to the Hall of Fame, the villa we stayed in, like all of that combined was about $1,000 per person that went with us in that group of 5, right? But for $1,000, I was able to go to WrestleMania, enjoy an entire week-long stay in Florida, right? And when I bought when we bought, now the SmackDown and Raw tickets were pretty high up, like 200 section in the arena, but we were willing to do that, so that we got better Mania seats, and we were sitting, it was, I mean, to some it may be high, but it was about midway through the stadium at Camping World Stadium, right? It was a really good seat, right? And I mean, that ticket was like maybe 300 at most, right? And that's just that, and that's before the fee, or that's with the fees, right? And so the point that I'm saying is you're pricing out people like me who like, and I hate to complain about money because I make good money. It's not like I'm below the poverty level, right? But I know there's people who watch wrestling who are struggling a lot with money, and that and who love wrestling but can't go to these shows because of the shit. Even going to SmackDown, where I'm sitting in the 100s. I'm not sitting on the roof this time like I was last time I went to a WWE show. But even to get the ticket that I got, I mean, we're talking like $200 after fees, and a lot of that is Ticketmaster's fees. But I don't think it was that much, actually, if I'm being honest with you. But it was pretty high, right? Where 5, 6, 7 years ago, the seat that I'm sitting in, it's a non-TV seat. I mean, even the TV seats are ridiculous at this point. Like, some of them are like $500 to sit. 18 rows up. Like it's kind of insane. And so I understand we're here to make money, but WWE, you're pricing out some of the people who really want to go to these shows, and you're really making it similar to like the NFL with the Super Bowl. You're pricing it out, and you're essentially making it an exclusive party for the rich. And personally, I just like I'm not even kidding. Even if I wanted to buy SummerSlam tickets, now if I could have found like a $50 ticket, I would have probably hopped on it, right? But I mean, I looked at it and saw like $150 for the top of the stadium, and quite literally said out loud, "Yeah, I'm just gonna watch it on TV." Right? It's ridiculous, these ticket prices. It really is. You're really pricing out some of your biggest fans because they can't afford some of this stuff. And so yeah, I'm gonna watch SummerSlam on Peacock. It is what it is. So again, it's not it's not a bad complaint. It's just one of those things that I feel like as a company, WWE should do a better job of allowing more of their fans to attend live events, especially these big pay-per-views. And that's why I complained so much, was because something like a Backlash was something where they would go to like Hartford and you could get a seat, a pretty decent seat for $50-$60 and say, hey, I went to a premiere live event, and it wasn't a Mania. And like, guys, and I'm definitely saying, if you're a wrestling fan, go to WrestleMania. It's worth it. But a lot of people have to, save up for that type of shit, right? And it's like months and months and months of saving, when it didn't used to be that way. It didn't used to be that way. It just didn't. Yeah. So that's just my rant for the week. I think we need to lower some of these tickets. I get you're in it for the money. That's what the business is for. But some of these ticket prices are quite ridiculous. Let's move down. I don't know about you guys. But I'm already over this Wyatt 6 shit, whatever the fuck is going on. I gave it a chance with Bray Wyatt when he was coming back with the QR codes, and I thought it was cool and unique. This time around, I'm less enthusiastic. I don't care. I don't have the energy or the time or the desire to go in and do all this research, and even to like look up what people are saying about it, right? People are just doing too much. We know what's coming. Can we just debut it so that we can go ahead and like, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. We're going to debut it. We're going to like it for about 2 weeks. And then the fans are going to quickly turn on it, because that's what the fans do. That's what the fans do. I want to revert. I want to take this rabbit hole, excuse the pun, the rabbit hole, back to Cody Rhodes for a minute. I fucking told you guys y'all were going to turn on Cody immediately after, right? Now we're getting "We Want Roman" chants, and we're talking about, Wavy D just talked about, is Cody going stale, right? Because that's the way WWE fans are. That's the way wrestling fans are. They want something, and then they get it, and they're not happy with it. It's not happening the way they want it to work, and so they complain about it. And now it's going stale, and the crowd doesn't like it. And let me tell you, it's stale. But I already told you, this is why Cody Rhodes shouldn't win the title. I already told you that Cody Rhodes should not have beaten Roman Reigns, because there's nothing behind that. That was my question. That was my question. What's next for Cody Rhodes? Because if there's nothing next that has that same level of importance of why he should beat Roman Reigns, the fans are going to turn on him. Just like they turned on Kofi, just like they turned on LA Knight, where we got the guys who cheer for him, but we don't really cheer for him anymore, right? Just like they would have with LA Knight if he would have won, just like they would have with Cody now that he has won, they're starting to turn on him. They're starting to realize, there's really nothing here for Cody to do. This is a really bad title run, where at least with Roman, right? And then you have the IWC marks that are like, well, at least he's fighting. At least he shows up. Shut up. Roman was 1,000 times more entertaining in his title run off TV than Cody Rhodes. Like Cody Rhodes has done 0 things that have really made me say, this is a really good idea. Right? So yeah, I think it has gone stale. To answer Wavy D's question, has it gone stale? Yeah, it's stale, but it was stale before it even happened. Right? Like, I already told you this was going to happen. All right, so back to the Wyatt 6. It's already stale. We're already going to turn on it. People already starting to get frustrated with you not debuting it earlier because we already know what it is, because we've already gone down this road. And I actually agree with Wavy D on this, and that is, can we just let Bray rest in peace? Like, honestly, like, bring back Bo Dallas. That's fine. But do we have to have him in? Like, I'm not a supernatural fan of, anyway. So I'm already sort of predisposed to sort of already hate on this type of gimmick. But I'm already waiting for it to debut so that we can boo it, because that's what's going to happen. All right. I'm about to rant again just for a little bit. This was not initially in the plans to talk about this, but over the last few days, I've seen a few things that have really started to frustrate me with the IWC. And there, y'all some soft ass motherfuckers. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Wrestling fans, y'all. I said this weeks ago when I asked the question, you sure you want the Attitude Era? Go check out that episode. It's literally titled something like that. Do you really want the Attitude Era? Right. So Tiffany Stratton, this is the newest thing that just came out that I saw prior to recording this. Tiffany Stratton posts a video. It's now been deleted because of the outrage behind it. But Tiffany Stratton posts the video of her slapping Jade Cargill. It's a fan-made video. She didn't make this. WWE didn't make this. A fan made this. She just reposted it. The video is of her slapping Jade Cargill, calling her a black bitch. Exactly the words right there. A black bitch. That's all that the video said. All the video said. And you got these IWC fans who claim to want the Attitude Era back, but they're trying to get I've seen petitions and tweets to tagging Triple H. I demand that Tiffany Stratton apologize or get fired. Scrolling through, searching her account, trying to find other racist remarks. Talking about, it shouldn't surprise you. She looks like, I literally saw a tweet on this. Shouldn't surprise you. She looks like someone that would have stormed the Capitol. She's going to be the next Jericho. She's the next Hogan. Like, y'all are, for what the fuck, dude? Like, quite honestly, I'm so tired of this shit. I'm so tired of this shit. Like, not just in wrestling, but in general in this culture of just cancel culture in general. Everyone looks for something to be fucking offended about. It's annoying. This victim mentality is the reason why we are where we are. And I'm going to try to stay off the political soapbox here. But this victim mentality is the reason why our culture is where it is right now. We would rather take the easy way out and just be the victim rather than just take a joke and laugh. I think it was Jerry Seinfeld who said it, that comedy is the worst it's ever been because people can't laugh. Cancel culture has ruined comedy. Cancel culture in general has ruined entertainment. None of what Tiffany Stratton posted in this video was racist. Because let me reverse this. Because we never do this when we talk about this type of issue. We never sit and do it this way. If Jade would have posted a video slapping Tiffany Stratton and it was dubbed over, "Oh, you white bitch," Would we be calling for Jade Cargill's neck? No, we would not be. So why are we calling for Tiffany Stratton's? Tiffany, I need y'all to understand this. Tiffany Stratton is a heel. She's supposed to degrade her opponent. Now, if she would have posted something that like said the N-word or like a derogatory statement that was plainly posted to be, to be racist, then yeah, we can have that conversation. But she posted a fan-made video calling Jade a black bitch. What is inherently wrong with a heel character doing that? It's just victimhood. It's just it's the same shit that happens when I bring up that WWE or TNA or someone should bring back Tessa Blanchard. Oh, but isn't she the one that said those racist? Maybe she did at one point. But I've seen posts from Red Velvet, La Rosa Negra, I think was the one she initially said the comment to. Both saying we got to give her some grace. She's changed. She's different. Red Velvet posting pictures with her and videos, and legit in the comment section, someone said, you need to choose better friends. This one's, what about her past? And she basically told him to go touch grass. Like, we can't just expect people to... that's probably the bad choice of word. We can't sort of Tessa Blanchard may have said bad things in the locker room. None of us were there, so I'm not going to judge her for it. And if her coworkers are saying, hey, guess what? She's a cool person to be around. Guess what? That's all I care about. Right? Tiffany Stratton posts a fan-made video that says nothing derogatory. Just simple statement to be a heel, and you want to get her fired? Not, it's this type of culture, man, that really makes it hard for me to fit into the wrestling fan base, because this is the wrestling fan base. It's soft, dude. Bro, if this would have been said in the 80s, people would have laughed at it and moved along. Y'all want the Attitude Era, but you're not willing for the Attitude Era to happen, right? And I'm not, and this is part of the reason why I don't like the Attitude Era. It was very corny, right? There were very, very little good that came out of the Attitude Era. I've already said that. I don't know why we're so nostalgic over that era when it really wasn't all that good. But in that same boat, y'all claim to want it back. But that level of edginess will trigger the shit out of you. Y'all can't even handle Tiffany, right? And then on the other things that I saw this week, someone made a post, I forgot who it was, about, basically saying y'all can hate it all you want, but face the fact that Jey Uso's probably going to win King of the Ring. That was sort of the gist of his tweet, and someone quote tweeted it and basically said, and you could cry about it all you want, but you just got to face it. Your dad's 6 feet deep. Like, what? Who the fuck hurt you, dude? It is not okay, right? So that's okay to post. That's okay to post. But when Tiffany Stratton posts a video, that's not okay to post. It's okay to make fun of someone's dead father behind an anonymous account, by the way, because I'll go ahead and say this is a hot take. If you have an anonymous account and you live behind that anonymous account, you're a bitch. Show your face, dude. Now, I understand why some females have anonymous accounts. I really do. But most of the time, it's not the females who be acting up. behind these anonymous accounts. A lot of them are the dudes who hide behind these anonymous accounts so they can say tough shit that they don't need to back up. Say with your chest, put your name on it. Stand on your business. Right? Right? And so you got this person hiding behind an anonymous account telling this dude, like making fun of this dude because his dad is dead. All because they disagree with an opponent. My Notorious Nerdy D. He does podcasts. A lot of people who listen to this know who he is. And his Discord just told me the other day that he got a go kill yourself DM over an opinion. I can't put myself in a mind state where I would ever message someone or comment on a video for someone, jokingly or not, to go kill themselves because they disagree with how I feel about something. I can't put myself in that mindset. I also can't put myself in the mindset that everything has to be racially involved. Oh, she called Jade a black bitch. She must be racist. Nah, maybe she's just doing her job. Now, maybe it wasn't the best thing to post. We can question that. Maybe not. But I even then, I think that that's a stretch, bro. That's typical language. How many times have you like? She's a heel. That's what she's supposed to do. She's doing her job, dude. And I don't get it. And maybe I'm wrong for this. And y'all can call me out if you think I'm wrong in this opinion. I don't understand why, and this is just my take on it. If you look for racism, you're going to find it. If you're dead set to find racism, you're going to find it in the smallest areas. If you're looking to be the victim, and that's for everything. If you're looking to be the victim in anything, whether it's by race, religion, whatever, if you look for a reason to be triggered, right? So there's like in corporate America, right? I used to be like a manager, right? And I've had managers who had to like come in and inspect like the restaurant that I worked at, right? And they're literally trained to find something. And if there's nothing there, they still find something, right? Because that's their job. Their job is to look for something that is wrong with the store so that when they do their audit, there's something that they could that we can work towards the next time they come and do an audit, right? So their job is literally to find something wrong. Well, in that same way, a lot of you are professional victims, and you take this professionally, and it's your job to find something wrong in the world. You can never just sit back and enjoy shit. And I feel like that's what this Tiffany Stratton thing is. People are just looking to be mad. People are just right, and a lot of it is, why are they pushing Tiffany and not Bianca, right? And it's that type of shit that really gets on my nerves. Right? Bianca is wonderful. Bianca is a wonderful talent, probably one of the best in wrestling right now. But I don't look at her as like she needs to be pushed because she's black. And I'm sorry, there's a lot of fans that do it that way. That Bianca, every time Bianca loses, it must be because she's black. No, it's not. Y'all got to get over yourselves. Like, quite honestly, get over yourself. Like, Tiffany Stratton's being pushed at this current state because that's what the story is calling for. And Tiffany Stratton, let's just be honest, she's earned the push. It's not like they're just pushing her like Vince used to do because she's blonde and has titties. She's earned the work, dude. She's earned the spot. I don't get it. I don't get the hate. I don't understand it. I can't put myself in the mindset of these IWC dorks who are triggered by opinions, triggered by Twitter posts, triggered by everything. And I know it only exists online. It's only online because none of these people would say half the shit they said in real life, right? And half the people, I've met a lot of cool people in the wrestling universe, fan base, that are cool and chill, and we disagree a lot. But I'm sorry, I just don't understand finding and looking for things, right? Even to the extent with myself, like There we go. I don't know what happened with the video there, but I've tried to get people to collab, like on one of these solo episodes with me, where I asked them, hey, I want a female perspective, and their response is, no, I don't like your political views, so I'm not going to collab. Bro, I want to talk wrestling, not politics. We can differ politically. I don't care. Believe whatever you want politically. Believe whatever you want religiously, right? If I invite you on a wrestling podcast, it's to talk wrestling, not to talk anything else, right? People are afraid to hang out and associate with people because they differ. Like my opinions, if you came on this show, right? Like DJ Wavy D's with me on Tuesdays. His beliefs and my beliefs are different on some things. I'm certain. I'm sure we're not the same person with the same beliefs. Guess what? My beliefs do not reflect upon him, right? This guilty by association type thing is quite insane, right? He's his own person. He believes what he wants to believe. You shouldn't judge his because of my beliefs, right? That's how I take a look at it, right? So I don't know. I'm really just sort of ad-libbing at this point. It just irritates me. These IWC fans just irritate me when it comes to just trying to be professional victims all the time, right? And so I'm done with them. I'm done with, like, I used to, again, I try to play devil's advocate, and I tried to sort of like bridge the gap and say, well, we're all the IWC, casual or hardcore, we're all the IWC. And guys, and you know, if you're part of the CWC, you're still overall just a subgroup. I've said that before, and I'm taking that back, because there's a clear and obvious difference in who is hardcore IWC and who is casual CWC. The CWC, let me tell you, this community is some of the coolest people I've ever been around when it comes to wrestling. Because guess what? We talk about wrestling, and that's it. And we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different belief systems. And guess what? All we talk about is wrestling, because that's what we're here for, right? And so that's what I'm here for. I don't try to bring politics into this shit. Y'all, the IWC brings politics. Like, let me tell you something. Jim Cornette and me are very different when it comes to political beliefs, but we're very similar when it comes to wrestling beliefs. So if I were to talk to Jim Cornette, on wrestling, we would agree, right? But we would have the biggest argument ever if we were to talk about anything else, right? And people can't make that distinction. People want to just, because I disagree with you on this area, so I can't affiliate with you, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me, dude. And to tell someone to go kill themselves because they disagree with you, I can't put myself in that mindset. I don't understand how you can do that. I really don't understand it. All right, let's get to the last news topic for the day, and then we'll send this thing home here in a minute. Wavy D sort of made mention of it, but I posted in one of the Discords I'm in with him that I believe at some point the fans are going to start to turn on Jey Uso. He had mentioned it. He had talked about it a little bit in the episode that he did solo. I want to explain that. I'm glad he mentioned it, because this was sort of my main point that I wanted to bring home with this episode. Yeah, I think Jey Uso is starting to become, maybe this is just my opinion, but he's starting to become super commercialized. I said this last week, I believe, where Jey Uso was a superstar until the bell rings, right? The entrance, the hands, now you got the lights, what they call them, like the yeet lights or whatever, and everyone talking about you're yeeting everywhere, and yeah, he's a commercial entity, right? He's got his own drink now at a bar, the Usi Juice. He's got T-shirts, he's got merchandise. I saw somewhere someone, now I don't know if this was like licensed or if they can get in trouble for this, so you know, if they do get in trouble, don't tell them I exposed it, but they're like creating his sneakers and selling them with like the yeet and the logos and all of that posted on them. But you didn't hear that from me if anyone asked. Yeah, he's a commercial entity. He sells tickets. I get why he's getting pushed. But once that bell rings, he has to get carried a lot. Ilya carried that match this past week. Ilya carried it. Jey Uso does like 4 moves, and I'm not the type of dude that likes to shit on movesets, because the 5 moves of doom for Cena, they work for Cena. It works for Roman to do the same moves in right. But Jey Uso, he needs something, because he's just very stale to me in the ring, right? It doesn't work, right? A spear, a Samoan drop, a frog splash from the top, and a super kick. It feels like that's all he got. And Ilya had to carry the match for him. And maybe I'm a little bit salty because I really wanted Gunther versus Ilya. But I feel like they're commercializing Jay too much, to where at some point the fans are really gonna realize that this is just, they're only pushing him. Or maybe, I don't think this is the real reason, but I think at some point the fans are going to turn to thinking and perceiving that he's only being pushed so that they can sell merchandise and tickets, which is really their job. It's not a bad thing, but I do believe some of the fans are going to start turning on him once this allure of Jey Uso goes away. Now, personally, I think Jey Uso should have beaten Damian Priest at Backlash. I think you could put the strap on him, makes it a little bit more digestible as to why he's being pushed so as hard as he is. I'm not going to hate him as King of the Ring. I personally don't believe he wins it. I do believe Gunther beats him on Monday. But I don't necessarily like where this is headed. I feel that a turn from the fans to Jey Uso could be coming because of how sort of commercial he is. Again, it's not a bad thing. I mean, he's really doing what you're supposed to do in this industry and getting to a place to where you could be used to sell merchandise and sell tickets, and he's doing a really good job at it. There's no hate to Jey Uso. I feel his moveset's very limited. I feel his in-ring ability isn't to the main event level they're trying to put him at. But damn, can he sell seats, and damn, can he hype a crowd up. So I understand why he's in the position he's in. I just think at some point the fans are going to recognize that they're trying to push him like a Cena, and they turned on Cena, and I feel they're going to turn on Jey Uso the same way. So there's that explanation. So let's talk about Thirsty Tuesday. We're going to make this Thirsty Thursday for today. But Thirsty Tuesday is we're in the middle of a bracket challenge, and last Tuesday I forgot about it, and then this Tuesday I wasn't on, so we haven't done it in quite a while. Talked about the bracket, but the first round's done. We finished the first matchup of the second round that was talked about 2 weeks ago. And so those winners were Chelsea Green, Indy Hartwell, Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega. I'm going to go ahead and give the matchups that were supposed to be on this Tuesday. And we'll talk about those. Well, I won't really give much opinion, but I'll announce the matchups. I'll give my opinion, and then the voting can commence. So these 4 matchups will be Cora Jade versus Lola Vice. This one's tough for me. This one's really tough for me, but it's not really. It's Cora Jade. I'm picking Cora Jade in this one. We got Alexa Bliss versus Raquel Rodriguez or Gonzalez. I don't know what last name they're using her. She's gone by both. I don't know what they're giving her. Raquel. Alexa Bliss versus Raquel. I'm going Alexa. I really am. I'm just more personally dishonest. Shorter, Shorter girls are sort of my thing. To be honest with you, Bailey versus Jasmine Nix from NXT. This is without a doubt probably the easiest matchup. That's Jasmine Nix. And then the last one is so tough, but it's really not. It's Ariana Grace versus Dakota Kai, and y'all would be crazy. Like, I don't have Dakota Kai as my background on my phone for no reason. It's Dakota Kai. Like, I'm straight up honest with you. I'm a transparent open book. It's Dakota Kai. She is Bay number 1 in WWE, right? So yeah, Dakota Kai over Ariana Grace. So those are the matchups. The voting will commence, and we'll announce those winners next Tuesday, and we'll continue the tournament on Tuesday, and we'll move on from there. And we're gonna finally end this episode with another installment of React to That. And I mentioned Cornette earlier, and that's who we're reacting to. It's a tweet from Cornette. I gotta find the tweet. There it is. Cornette, right here, tweeted this. Now he says, "Boy, times have changed. When wrestling fans drew big crowds, fans got tossed out as if they committed physical assault." Excuse me. Let me read that again. When wrestling drew big crowds, fans got tossed out if they committed physical assault or pulled out a knife. If you toss them for saying horrible things and hurting the wrestlers' feelings, the buildings would have been empty, kind of like they are now. And this is in reference to, I believe, Sky Blue was in a match and a fan was saying things, I guess, about her body and probably about how hot she is, right? Which is crazy because the IWC says that all the time. Sky Blue's so hot. Look at her ass, right? But the minute someone says it in person, someone stands on business and starts shouting it. I'm assuming that's what was being said. Aubrey Edwards had this man tossed out of the arena, lost the money, was tossed out of the arena, right? Now, I do think there's a line. I definitely think that the wrestler, there's a line in what you can and cannot say. I don't think it's here. I think if you'd say it online, it should be allowed to be said in public. And like I said, these IWC dorks oogle over Sky Blue and her ass all the time. Like, it's all over wrestling in the IWC internet, right? It's all over. That's all they talk about when Sky Blue's on. Oh, she's hot. She's hot. She's hot. But someone says it in person and he gets tossed. Now, I don't know what else would have been said. I don't know the full situation. But Cornette's right here, right? It used to be that, like, the only way you would ever get kicked out of the arena is if you posed a physical threat to one of the wrestlers. You hop the barricade. You got in the ring. You're going to get a move. You're going to take a bump. You're going to get the shit beat out of you. Then you're going to get kicked, right? If you brought a knife, yeah, you're going to get thrown out of the arena, right? Now we're throwing people out for words. This goes back to what I just said. This is the softest generation of wrestling fans and softest generation that I've ever seen. Like, it's a shame, dude. It's a shame. We're soft. This is soft, dude. And here's the thing. Jim Cornette and me disagree politically, but we have the same belief here. We're soft. Wrestling fans are soft. Your wrestlers are soft. Your feelings got hurt. Too bad, right? That's life, dude. Right? Because here's the thing, right? You can't talk about women's bodies that way. But then they get upset when if I say something along the lines of, then why is she selling herself? Why is she marketing herself that way? And it's not Sky Blue's fault. Like, she can't help her genetics. But if I were to go to Sky Blue's Instagram page right now, right? If I were to go to Sky Blue's Instagram page, how much are you willing to bet that one of her first posts are her in a bikini? And do that for any wrestler. Do that for any female wrestler. How much are you willing to bet that one of her first posts on Instagram are her in a bikini or some sort of revealing clothing? Because the women understand that that's how they sell and get themselves over. You can't, you right now, I'm not going to say there and like call her a whore and shit. Don't call her names. But like if I say, oh, Sky, you're so attractive. That's how you're promoting yourself. Why? Right now, I would not. I personally wouldn't go to a show and be like, "Oh my God, you're the hottest thing I've ever seen." That's kind of dork material to me. Like that's kind of weird to me. I would never say it. But if we're gonna allow it online, why are we kicking people out of arenas for it? Like it's soft, right? Or if I say you suck, right? Yeah, like that's soft material. That's soft material, dude. Like that's if you get hurt because someone says you suck. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have to agree with Cornette here. I do. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section of the video. Click the QR code if you're watching the YouTube right there in the right-hand corner of the screen. And in doing so, that'll take you to WWE Shop. Will help us out. It's our affiliate link. So anything you buy, we get a small percentage of it to go back into the show. Links for everything are in the description of the episode. Go to junkyardmediagroup.com to get all the episodes of all the shows, including Beyond the Junkyard, which will be on, I believe, they're doing an episode live tonight, Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Link for that will be in the description link to their YouTube channel. Join the Discord. They post about 10 minutes before they go live that they're going live with the link as well. So join the Discord, join the conversation there. And until Tuesday, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And I will see you on the next episode.
Brother, I'm going run a wild Hulk Hogan. If I like get some moment.